The World Cup has always been football's grandest event, a month where the world stops to watch the beautiful game at its highest level. But as we approach the 2020, but for all the wrong reasons, it's shaping up to face challenges that could fundamentally alter what we've come to expect from the sport's premier event. Let's explore the 6 worst scenarios that could unfold. The extreme heat that scorched players during the 2025 Club World Cup should have been a wake-up call, but the lessons learned came at a brutal cost. When Chelsea's Enzo Fernandez had to lie down on the pitch after feeling dizzy during a semi-final played in 96-degree heat, it wasn't just discomfort, it was dangerous. Paris Saint-Germain manager Luis Enrique complained about his team competing in near 40-degree temperatures during their opener against Atletico Madrid, a match scheduled at noon local time. Research from Queen's University Belfast has revealed that nearly 90% of the North American stadiums hosting the World Cup could experience dangerous heat levels, particularly between noon and 5 p.m, presenting serious health risks to players and match officials. The body produces heat during exercise and needs to release that heat to cool down, but when ambient temperature and humidity reach certain thresholds, sweating becomes ineffective. What starts as fatigue and cramping can quickly escalate to nausea and exertional heat stroke. While 5 of the 16 stadiums have roofs or sliding roof systems that can provide shade, it's simply impractical to schedule all early kickoffs in these venues. The 2020 players will inevitably be exposed to conditions that no elite athlete should face. This brings us to the scheduling nightmare that could alienate millions of fans across the Eastern Hemisphere, such as Europe, Africa, and Asia. FIFA is now seriously considering pushing major matches involving European nations to after midnight UK time in an effort to avoid the scorching afternoon temperatures. Victor Montagliani, president of CONCACAF and a FIFA vice president, admitted that kickoff times are always an issue in the region because summers are brutally hot. Supporters in the Eastern Hemisphere could be watching their national teams play at 2 a.m, turning what should be a communal, celebratory experience into a lonely, exhausting ordeal. We saw this during Brazil 2014, and the complaints were deafening. Montagliani himself couldn't guarantee that every game would have a perfect kickoff time from a television perspective, revealing a troubling truth. FIFA is caught between protecting players from heat and serving the enormous audiences that fund the tournament, and it seems increasingly likely they'll fail at both. Then there's the elephant in the room. The tournament's expansion to 48 teams has fundamentally altered the World Cup's identity. For the first time, the competition will feature 104 matches, up from 64 in previous tournaments. Teams that reach the final will have to navigate 8 matches instead of 7, adding another layer of strain to an already grueling schedule. The format change has been met with widespread skepticism from football fans who argue that quality will inevitably suffer when the field is diluted with nations that only qualified because of the expanded slots. The concern isn't about snobbery. Fans who have followed the tournament religiously for decades might find themselves skipping entire group stage days, waiting instead for the knockout rounds when the genuine contenders emerge. The bloated format risks turning football's most sacred tournament into an endurance test, not just for players but for viewers whose attention spans are being stretched across weeks of uneven competition. Compounding these structural problems is the brutal reality of modern football's congested calendar. Players are being run into the ground at unprecedented rates. Manchester City's Phil Foden openly admitted to feeling burnout and suffering from injuries throughout the 2024 to 2025 season after consecutive campaigns that pushed him to the limit. Manchester United's Bruno Fernandes made 70 appearances for club and country in a single season. The introduction of the expanded Champions League format has only added more fixtures to an already impossible schedule, and FIFPro's research found that 43% of World Cup players surveyed experienced extreme or increased mental fatigue. The 2026 World Cup arrives at the tail end of what will be another exhausting season for the world's elite players. Some stars might not even make it to the tournament, their bodies broken by the relentless demands placed on them. Others will arrive fatigued, unable to produce the moments of magic that define World Cups. Lower quality matches become inevitable when players are running on empty, nursing injuries that should have forced them to rest weeks earlier. The tournament is also being held across 3 countries, meaning teams will face additional travel and jet lag between matches. FIFA claims to have reached consensus on minimum rest periods, but FIFPro, the Players Association, wasn't even invited to the meeting where these decisions were made. The rift between football's governing body and the players' organisation as migration climate has created an atmosphere of uncertainty and fear, particularly for supporters from countries that have faced heightened scrutiny. When people feel unsafe or unwelcome, they don't travel, and that directly impacts the vibrant atmosphere that makes the World Cup extraordinary. The images of passionate fans from every corner of the globe creating a carnival of colour and noise in the stands are as much a part of the World Cup's identity as the football itself. If significant numbers of supporters decide the risk isn't worth it, stadiums could feel hollow, teams could lack the support that drives them forward, and the tournament loses something crucial. Some fans have also expressed a desire to stand in solidarity with communities affected by harsh immigration policies, choosing to boycott entirely as a form of protest. Whether driven by fear or principle, reduced fan attendance would represent a devastating blow to a tournament that has always prided itself on being a global celebration. Finally, we have to confront the reality that questions about safety in host cities aren't going away. The United States is facing significant challenges when it comes to creating secure environments for large-scale public events for an extended period. Concerns about public order incidents, unexpected disruptions, and general uncertainty surrounding safety in certain areas have been raised by fans, players, and officials alike. These are legitimate worries that deserve serious consideration. While FIFA and local authorities will undoubtedly implement comprehensive security measures, the perception of risk can be just as damaging as actual danger. Families thinking about traveling to support their nation might ultimately decide it's safer to watch from home, and you can't blame them for prioritizing their well-being. It took over a year to address these issues, but many of them stem from decisions that are now irreversible. What we're left with is hoping that the beautiful game can somehow transcend the chaos surrounding it, and that the 2026 World Cup doesn't become the tournament that broke football's greatest tradition. Do you think the tournament will be a success? Let us know in the comments. Remember to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe to the channel. Also, be sure to turn on post notifications so that you never miss out on any new videos. See you next time. Bye.